Welcome to North Metro TV News. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Rusty Ray. First up, the Census Bureau released information about which states would lose seats in Congress, and in a bit of a surprise, Minnesota once again will keep all 8 of its seats. I talked with one North Metro leader about what that means for the region and for what other results still to come could mean. How close was Minnesota to losing a seat in the House of Representatives because of the census population totals? Close.
By 89 people. I mean, 89 people. So if New York had counted 89 people more, or us less, they'd have gotten the seat and we'd have lost one. And that's a big deal.
It keeps Minnesota and the North Metro at the table for big decisions.
So it's really important that our congressmen are out there trying to make sure that whether it's farming or education or high tech or whatever, that Minnesota does fairly well and gets what we deserve. So yeah, it's a very big deal, and I think Congress people are very happy. They don't have to have 8 people fighting for 7 seats like, duck, duck, gray duck.
But what made the difference for Minnesota?
So there's an old saying that says that 3/4 of what you do in a political campaign is a total waste of time, but you don't know what 3/4 it is. So you really have to do everything.
In Circle Pines, that meant Councilmember Dean Goldberg would don his census man costume and help spread the word about the count. It was a regional appeal that got national attention. If Circle Pines can register more than 5,000 residents, it can easily qualify for critical state money to help pay for infrastructure and other needs.
So that's why a full count was really important. And we don't know what will happen in Circle Pines. We remain hopeful.
Those figures should be out in the early fall, and still to come, redistricting for state and local offices.
It's getting more and more metro and suburban. And so that means that greater Minnesota, those districts all of a sudden get bigger and bigger and bigger to get that same number of people. Because at the end of the day, you want those districts to about be exactly the same. And so you move those lines around to make that happen. Bottom line is that power will continue to shift really, from greater Minnesota to the suburbs.
Minnesota led the nation in census participation with 75% of people returning response forms. If Circle Pines cannot exceed 5,000 residents in the count, the city can still apply for state help to get the money that it needs.